Good morning. Good morning, YouTubers. This is Bag of Dawn at Stock Market Caddy, and it is dead of summer. We've been doing a lot more of these free spot views during the summer months. Probably won't be able to do this in the fall, but during the summer, to showcase who we are, what we're about, we've been doing quite a few of these. Today is July 14th at about 10 minutes of 9. Now, I got my nose buried in our own trading and also at the computer getting some files out to our members and new members. But if you have any questions on what it is you're seeing, if you stop by on YouTube and you have a question, put it in the chat function and I will periodically check it. We're having a wonderful, just a wonderful run in the markets, right? We're up, we're down, we're down, we're up. And we'll leave the storytelling to the fake media. We really don't care. Markets go up, markets go down. We just got to get it on the right side, extract our cash flow, extract our cash flow, and get on out of here. You don't have to be here all day, every day. You don't. You need to define for yourself, though, how long you want to trade and what type of trader you want to be. And we will do our level best to help you match the programs that we have with your style of trading. There are 24 trading days, 24 trading days in a month, 24. If you take Fridays off or you take Sunday nights off, there are 20. $100 a day is $2,000 a month. 200, 4,000, 500, 10,000. It's all scalable. Now, you put together 10 or 20 of these days, and the biggest concern we're going to have, the biggest concern you're going to have is becoming too euphoric. We don't want panic or euphoria in any of our trading. The amount that you see here is from midnight today. So we're to the good right here. If we were to kill this trading robot, it's called the Stinger. If we were to turn it off right here, right now, it would have in excess of $2,500. We're going to let it run so you can see it running. Swing Machine is also in these trades. So it's a beautiful thing. You got any number of ways to do this. Had a train of thought and I forgot what I was going to say. But if you have any questions, let us know. And oh, yesterday's bounty from midnight the day before to midnight last night was $4,000. $4,000. One mini. One mini. Let us know if you have any questions. Be sure to visit the website and you can send us an email, and you're also more than welcome to call. Good morning, Tina. Good to see you. And hopefully there'll be you'll have some friends that want to join us. um, but we're off and running. A little bit odd that the Russell is selling down. A little bit odd, right? The Russell kind of led up. So I always kind of like to keep a casual eye on the Russell as a risk indicator in and of itself, an appetite for risk. Why isn't the Russell, doing well? It sticks out to me. But our little program is doing yeoman's work here, yeoman's work since midnight, $2,300 real time. And we're just trying to stay out of its way. Yesterday, its catch was $4,000, midnight to midnight. That is the stinger. And it is stinging. Enjoy. I think Tina already rang the cash register. Probably started her weekend. Good for you. Hey everyone, we are live on YouTube, and if folks are passing through on YouTube, good to see Tina. Tina's probably already made her hit and gone. That's okay. Someday we're going to get Tina as a member. She tells me. Let's have her. And Swing Machine. Let's take a look at things here. We're not trade that trade that's up there is one mini contract, one mini, and that is trading this tool right here, the SMC Stinger Robot, since midnight. Since midnight, it's booked 301 and it's up to 2500, and we're letting it run out. Yesterday, midnight to midnight, it did $4,000. It's having a beautiful run, and we're happy to discuss any and there's she took her profit. Okay, so she took it out. So what we're going to do is I did not do that, and that's okay. This is not a back test. This is an actual performance report, but it is static. It doesn't update like Swing Machine is updating real time. So let's generate the report. And there it is. This is what the machine has done since midnight. 2,685.40 to the penny. The profit factor, 7.11. That means we made $7.11 for every dollar we expended, including commissions. That is a beautiful thing. And it is now flat. So we'll let it go. While we're here, though, this is Swing Machine. We have members that are trading swing. We have members that are trading all kinds of things. We got dozens and dozens of ways to do this. But let's just take a look at what Swing Machine is. This market has just been on fire. Let's get a little, well, I tell you what, we'll do the little green box. How about that? We are, I'm happy to answer questions. I won't be here a whole lot. We're very busy getting files out to returning members, getting videos, instructional videos out to new folks that are coming in for Q School, which is all good. It's really, really good. There it is. There's another order. I love it. I love it. I did not do that. It feels like I have a trader sitting right beside me, though. We'll cheer him on. So let's get eyes on this. Here is this. Oh, we don't want the 60-minute up. I'm sorry. So I didn't even realize that that's hung over there from, bear with me. Let's see here. Get this back to a 5-minute view. That's okay. And then we got to bring this back up. There we go. Oh, okay. So she took a little loss there. All right. So I can generate, this is static. So she did just take a little loss. We generate a report, and okay, and she knocked down our profit factor a little bit. All right. So she's doing her thing. Let's take a look at what Swing Machine has done. Swing Machine, and now this is interesting. This is at 10 a.m. now. The VIX is going long. That's a problem. That's a problem for the bulls. Okay. Although, the Stinger is still trying to buy up there. That may want me to intervene, but I'm not going to. You could be intervening. The 5-minute ES went long this morning at 610. You'd be up 400. It's off of its highs. It's come in very quickly here. The NQ on Swing Machine went long at 930. Right at 930, you're up 1800. That also has come in. The Dow, though, is short. And then this is a tell too, and we commented on this. This is what's so nice about Swing Machine. So this guy, the Dow is short, which I don't put any significance on the Dow, but the look at the Russell. The Russell I do put significance on. It goes short at 940. What's that all about? Okay, so the machine just took another hit, and that's okay. So she's managing her trades. Let's hit it. We'll generate another report. But the fact that the Russell kind of led us up here the last few days. And the Russell a lot of times shows us an appetite for risk. And there is no appetite for risk in the Russell this morning. With all the other markets up so much, maybe they're going to sell off. Maybe they're going to take some profit, right? As CNBC reports, oh, just a little, no selling going on. No, they never say the word sell. It's just a little profit taking. It's just a little bit of profit taking. Oh, okay. They got more euphemisms for the word sell. They can't say sell. And then also look at the oil trade down here. And we were commenting about this last night to our members in the video that oil was really, really extended euphoria and likely to come back. So this could have been a very easy trade, and gold is underwater a little bit. So we had a couple of trades there. Let's generate another run here. This is static. So we've come back. So, okay. And now she's short, though. That's a beautiful thing. Okay. So I'm very comfortable with that. So she's now short. So we've done since midnight. We've come off of a high, 2,290, which is give or take a buck, and profit factor at 3.74. I did. I did, Jeff. I I re um what I did, we ran the Stinger last week. She did exceptionally well. And she didn't trade a lot. She didn't. On Sunday, I optimized the Stinger. And the parameters, I thought I was getting more trades than I wanted to. I should have stayed with it. And I deliberately widened them, slowed it down. We have a member that's asking me about our settings, folks. So that's why, I'm not going to get into, he knows. But so I slowed it down. And on Wednesday, the Stinger did get stung a little bit. All right. She's fully recovered from it. And that was on maybe, whatever it is. There's always something, but on Wednesday, the market made a very sharp move and stayed up there and didn't oscillate. And the Stinger got stung there. So what I did do, though, is I came back at the end of the close on Wednesday when we were flat, and I re-optimized those inputs again, Jeff, to capture the tenor and flavor of the market. And she really tightened, she tightened it down. And I said, well, then I'm just going to stay with that. And then, she's done just fine. She's done yeoman's work to turn that around. So yes. But we continue to collect data on this Stinger. We have a lot of ideas around it too, a lot. And so it's going to be a beautiful thing. But I hope that answers your question. Those of you passing by on YouTube, if you have any questions, well, feel free to visit the website. Feel free to put any questions you have in the chat. Feel free to email. And then if you want to call, you're welcome to call. I'm not going to be talking here because we are busy. And, but I'm happy, if you put a question in, I'll try to answer it. And I'll also, certainly take a call on a Friday, but take a call anytime. And I'm inclined to think that this market's going to roll down. And if it does, Swing Machine will be on it. And hopefully the Stinger Now we're going to keep, the Stinger, we're not going to let it run itself into the ground. If we see anything like that here on a Friday, she's had a great week. She's had a great 2 weeks. We're not going to let her, get underwater. We're just not going to let that happen. I mean, she might lose a trade or two, but we'll keep an eye on it. We'll try to let it run, and so everyone's got something to see. But once again, we're always sharing this with folks. These trading robots are not, iRobots that you can just vacuum up money with. It may look like that. It feels like that sometimes, even for us. But you do need, trading skill to choose the robots, to run the robots, to have confidence in them, and to have confidence in what this game is. And for us, we do equate it to a game. You could equate it to something else. you know um I mean, I had to laugh. I think one of the Fed governors, it was the woman out in San Francisco. She's one of the Fed governors, and she was talking about one of the other departing Fed governors, and I'm like, you know I'm sure they're very, very smart people. I'm sure they are. I'm sure she's a hell of a lot smarter than me. I don't know. I think she had an economics degree from Stony Brook or some damn thing. But um, if you think I'm going to leave my financial future, my retirement, my financial future, and Susan's in the hands of those academic stoogers, that isn't happening. That is not happening. And I said this to Susan in the early 2000s. Yellen wasn't even around. She was, on a pedestal, teaching out at Berkeley or something, right? It's the same, and it's the same group. They're always there. We were calling, we used to call it the faux media before Trump was calling it the fake media. Before, we would call it faux, FAUX. It was faux. It was fake. It's bullshit. It's BS. And it was a big, all the trappings of these academic stooges. But I was reading her quote. I think I even sent it out, and in her background was just, it's just pitiful, right? Pitiful. I mean, I'm not going to live. We're going to live. Let me put it this way. We're going to live our lives. We're going to work hard. We're going to live hard. We're going to be, a sober view, and enjoy this beautiful time that we have here on this planet. But if you think I am going to defer my life and everything worked to some academic, like I say, an academic stooge, whether that academic stooge is talking economics, politics, or any other damn thing, or anything else, not happening. Absolutely not happening. And I had a conversation, and maybe, and I just share this. You have some insight as to who I am. I was talking with a person the other day, and and I don't, which is neat because I don't really think about this. But Susie and I bought our first stocks, opened our first IRA account before we had furniture. We had an apartment in Miami, and we had a bedroom set. We had a dinette set, and we didn't have a living room set. And Susan's like, what are we doing, Don? We're opening an IRA account. What is an IRA account? We're buying stock, Don. Don, we don't even have a TV. We were trying to get credit from Levitz. We had no credit, and we're opening and buying stock. And I said to Susan at the time, Susie, I don't know where we're going for sure, and I don't know what we're doing, but we are going to have independence. We are going to do what we want to do when we want to do it for the most part. You know, I mean, maybe I'm going to come up short. I'm not going to have, the yacht off of Monte Carlo. Who knows? Kidding. But that independence. So i- if you want to believe whatever you want to believe about the markets, believe it. I'm not out to change anyone's belief systems at all. I will share with you that I don't at all. I just don't. You know, I don't believe any of them, and I never have. And we have videos going back, 20 something years. I never really did. Maybe, maybe when we started out, there was a guy, Louis Rukeyser, and we were just babies. And before we go out on a Friday, I'd want to see, Susan, what are you doing? Well, I want to see Louis Rukeyser. We didn't even have DVDs, right? He was on Friday afternoons. I think he was on at 8:30. So we would get to the clubs a little late or something, wherever we were going, or a movie. And, I wanted to see him for his half hour, Louis Rukeyser. So there may have been a time when I maybe believed in some of that crap, but I don't believe it. And I haven't believed it. And thank God. And, but believe whatever you want, do whatever you want. If you're getting it done, just keep doing it. But if you're not, and the bastard's is stinging you, stop, think about what it is you're doing and make adjustments. That's all. That's the only thing I would um, I say to nieces and nephews, be the uncle down by the river. Remember that scene? Yeah, which is the great scene of what was that guy's name? The uncle down by the river. So I hope I don't sound like that, but boy, I mean, there isn't anybody that has, despite the fact that we do this day after day, week after week, it is a hoot. It is a blast. It is a way, in my mind, what inspires me to do this, in my mind, I feel like I'm getting back at the bastards. I'm rejecting their dogma. I'm rejecting CNBC. I am rejecting all their crap. And I'm playing our game. And you can play your game. You don't have to play mine. You don't have to play it exactly the same. But we're going to give you our tools. We're going to give you our perspective so that you can fit it to you, right? And everyone is very, very individual. And in the beginning, as we get to know a person during the Q school, we encourage them to think through what they want to get done. And it's very individual. We're very much respectful of privacy and all that. And we just try to help them choose some of the tools so that we hopefully can help maximize their time. I hope that makes sense. And let's make sure that now this is real time. So it's static. Let's hit another run on it. Yep. So it's right on the numbers. And so this is just for today, midnight to today, real time. And we got a profit factor at 3.25. Now we're not going to let it, get too chewed up. She keeps trying to counter it a little bit, right? She's a little bit of a counter trader, counter puncher. Swing Machine is a trend trader. And so we'll keep a casual eye. Any questions, let us know. Have fun. Could I go up there and scalp that? I could, right? I could intervene and grab that order. I'm not going to do that though. Just got to let it, play itself out, right? I hope I don't come across, but I have such, for the academics, I had contempt for academics when I was in academia, when I was in college. I had contempt for them then. It was just, you know, um, so not, some of them were very, very good. And I sought out some of the professors that nobody wanted to take. And they were some of the hardest, and they were thought provoking. And I kind of sought them out. It was a bit of a challenge. Um, and But there's some of these others. I mean, my God, especially today. I don't know if college is what it used to be. I don't know if it was what it was supposed to be, um, but it was a hoot. And but to see these academics that surround the Federal Reserve, commenting about, economics or anything, they have never run a business. They they have no, sound like Kramer. He was right to the extent they have no idea, and they don't, which is scary. If you think about it too much, it's a little on the scary side. But as long as the markets stay open, we're gonna be doing what we do. Got knock on wood. This I think, as the Nasdaq, starts to push 16,000, as the S&P, are we going to go to 4,600? Are we going to go to 5,000? Woohoo, we're going to go to 5,000. Okay, maybe we do. Maybe we do. um I'm an older person. I've seen a few things, right? I was in the markets, like I say, when we were babies, Susie and I lived and breathed 87. I was around, I forget what the issue was. I think it was the 1994. There was an issue. I forget what it was now. I don't think it was the Thai baht. The Thai baht was like a 97, thereabouts, and then long-term capital, and oh God, I think it was the Penn Central Railroad issue, I think in 1994. I think there were these different times. And then, of course, the dot com. Um, you know, in in 9 months, the NASDAQ dropped 90%. It did it, folks. You have to go and look. you know, and there were people, that, they may not be with us now. They were in their 50s and 60s at the time. I can remember even saying to my brother at the time, like, brother, there's a gap on the Nasdaq around 900, between 9 and 1200. I said, technically, I think it's possible we could go back to fill that. And you know what he said to me? Jesus Christ, brother, don't tell me that. I remember saying it. Jesus Christ, don't tell me that. And I'm like, brother, I mean, I'm telling you, it could. It could. And I'll be damned if it didn't. Now, do all gap ups eventually will in fact get filled. You just don't know when, you know. And I got to tell you something. We got a lot of gaps below us here. We got a lot of gaps. So, am I telling you that Nasdaq's going to come down 90%? No. But if you're up here buying these markets up here for the first time, and you're getting invested in here, and you are, I mean, if you're below 30, okay, all right, I'm, all right. But you're in your mid 30s, or you're in your 40s, and you're getting loaded up here. I think you need a saliva test. I think you're nuts, nuts. Because, I mean, the just on the risk reward is is off the charts. And I don't care what that little Tom Lee with his little black glasses. That son of a bitch has been so wrong so many times. If I had a nickel for every time he's given a prognostication, that son of a bitch gives a prognostication on the S&P. It seems like every other week they traipse him out. If you notice, they keep changing banks. There used to be another guy. His name is Beauvais. I used to call him Wrong Way Beauvais, and he was the banking analyst. Christ, every time they put him on, excuse the French, excuse me, I mean to be profane there, but every sacrilegious, he he'd be working for a different bank. He'd be working for this bank and for that bank and this bank, and he was like a banking. I mean, these guys are like, you know, and they always will tell you. They'll always tell you, and he's got the big black glasses, makes him look smart and studious, and I think he looks like a boob. But and the guy, I think his name is Tom Lee, and he's the go-to guy right now. He's the go-to, and he'll say as he goes out the door, the S&P is going to be at 5,000, and at the end of the year. But I can't tell you, Judge, Wapner. I can't tell you, Judge, where it's going to be tomorrow. Oh, okay. As though that's easier to tell us where it's going to be in 6 months from now. But I can't tell you where it's going to be tomorrow. How about just tell me where it's going to be in the next few minutes? I mean, right now, our machine is long the NASDAQ. And you know what? I'm happy to take that money. Thank you very much. So God, God help you. You're up here grabbing this, especially the technology stuff. And it's always something. It's always something. Okay. In the 90s, it was anything with a .com. Before that, I'm trying to think what it was before that. I mean, it's always something. They got to have a shtick. So it was the .com. Remember anything with a .com, pets.com, something.com. They had no business. Everyone just got a web domain and made it public. And, people threw money at it, the .com. And then it was social media. Oh, Jesus. I mean, I thought that was, but social media, that wasn't existent. And then, of course, the smartphone wars. Before that, there was the stent wars. Cardiovascular stents. The companies there, the Cortices and all that. I mean, there always is a shtick. In the late stages of the bubble of the .com, it was they got so desperate to find places to put money, they started talking about fiber optics. It's going to be the fiber optics. Oh my God, you got to get there's going to be such demand. There's going to be such demand for fiber optics that you better buy Owens Corning glass because they make the glass for fiber optics. Let me tell you, nobody knows about that one. So you got to go get into Global Crossing. The symbol was GLBX. I know it because I bought it and sold it, thank God. And the person who got rich off Global Crossing got rich once and propelled himself into a governorship of Virginia is the governor of Virginia. Was that Terry Warner? What's his name? He was the bag man for the Clintons. That's where he made his money. They gave him a big fat IPO, just like they gave a big fat IPO to Al Gore at Google. And they gave big fat IPOs, Apple to Feinstein and the rest of those, pimps. That's what they are. But it was fiber optics, JDS Uniphase. And then suddenly, what? Gone. What about the fiber optics? What about the, yeah, we're going to shoot this. We're going to use lasers. It's gone. They'll do the same thing to the social media. I mean, what's so happening about Facebook? I mean, before this, I mean, what was the social media company before Facebook? MySpace. But how did MySpace make it? They're gone. They'll be gone. No, no one can believe that, right? And now the big buzz is AI. Oh, it's AI. Did you hear Kamala explaining? It's two words, it's two letters. Hearing Kamala Harris describe artificial intelligence, if you haven't seen it, we would be better off, and she's warning about it. We would be better off, really. I would rather have, I mean, that woman, I don't know, something's wrong there. Something is really, really wrong. We would be better off listening to a machine. You want her deciding your financial future? So these academics, to bring it full circle, these academics at the Federal Reserve, if you're listening to them, uh, if you're listening to them and you think they have any clue, they don't. They don't. They have no clue. That building, the Federal Reserve, that is as real as Cinderella's castle at Disney. It is a facade. It is a joke. They do nothing but push papers around and collect their $200,000 or $300,000 and go to, at the end of August, go out to Jackson Hole and eat shrimp on our dime. They're not federal. They're the titular head of a banking cartel who are a bunch of crooks, a bunch of money launderers, and these people make them look clean. That's it. So whatever. But I'll be damned if I'm going to let any of that industry determine my fate, my future. No. Make our own decisions, play our own game. And if at some level it resonates with you, I can't promise you an outcome. I wish I could. I can't. I can't promise you an outcome. I can't promise you can do it. Not making any claims. I can't, because Tina was here earlier. She's probably still here. Tina, we're not giving away trades here. We're just showcasing what we're doing. But chances are Tina probably put a trade on this morning. She made her money and she's probably done. That's Tina. That's Tina. She's in these markets. She's here. She's always here. She's always around. She lives and breathes the markets. Be careful throwing me out of office early, because yeah, it's just a scary thought. That girl, that lady, Kamala, she's scary, right? I mean, man alive, she's a stoner. You her in that giddy laugh and all that stuff. She's a stoner. Empty suit. It's scary. I wonder in my heart of hearts if she really even would want to be president. I think, I mean, she seems so uncomfortable in her own skin, you know, just doesn't seem comfortable. There are folks that seem comfortable in their skin, and then there are folks that, and she is a person that just strikes me as being so uncomfortable in her own skin. And that giddy laugh is like, is some sort of mechanism to, like it's just a big bluff. And to think, oh my God, we won't go there. In any case, it's on a Friday. So I'll be here if you got any questions, and I'm going to be in the office much of the weekend doing what we're doing and getting ready. And if you and Tina's still here, she's doing her thing. Got a girl, Tina. It's got to be something you want to do. And if at some level some of these things resonate, I have, and maybe the gentleman is listening, and probably not. Let me give you an example. I want to read. I won't show it, but I'll give you an example of and he's probably and I'm saying this as a, you know I'm not being critical. I'm not. Let me see if I can find this. And a gentleman wrote to me, he sent me an email. We get a ton of these. And let me see if I can find this. I think I know where I did it. This sort of thing that we get. Not from, obviously not from everybody, not from you guys that are here, but all right. Okay. So he sends to me a message. Let me see if I can find the first one. Well, he sent me a message and he just said, I'm interested in high frequency trading. And that's what I kind of like always said. And I wrote back to him. I said, thank you for your interest. Happy to answer any of your specific questions. I mean, there wasn't even a question. It was just kind of like, I'm interested in high frequency trading. Like, okay, but and then he writes back, thanks for your response. Actually, I'm looking for high frequency trading software to trade stocks and crypto as an individual. Please let me know if you recommend any. I mean, what is that? What is that? I mean, and I'm just, I don't respond. I won't respond. Right. Um, the first thing is that, a couple of things. One, I mean, not to be super critical here, but high frequency trading for trading stocks and crypto as an individual. I mean, I didn't think you're doing it as a firm, I mean, but the problem is he doesn't know what he doesn't know. He is looking for something that doesn't exist. He is looking to buy a program for $500 or whatever. He's got a number in mind. He's looking to buy a program that he can trade, that he can make money trading stocks and crypto without having to learn anything. That combination doesn't exist. But there are plenty of people that will sell him crap to satisfy his yearning. I'm not doing that. So I didn't even write back to him. He doesn't understand and doesn't know what he doesn't know. And if he's listening, I'm not being super critical. If he ever wanted to call and say, I don't, but we get a ton of that. And I can't, you have to be, there's no jumping the shark, and if you're looking for something that doesn't exist, you will be disappointed in anything. More valuable than one program, more valuable than the Stinger, the swing machine, the option club selector, more valuable than the C points, more valuable than the dozens and dozens of programs that we have at this point is the education that we try to provide in a perspective, much more valuable. It truly is. And but many people, they just, whatever, they want to, they want a high frequency program, despite what I say that there's no jumping the shark. Nope, I'm gonna buy something for, and there are people, that will. There was a we have a program called the Pebble Beach, and it's superb. It really is superb. Um, and There is a program similar to it, because we do, um, we're aware, and the person is marketing the program, um, for about $8,000 at last count, $8,000 a year, and and he just keeps making modification after modification after modification to that very program. Um, our program is superb, and we've had it. In fact, the Pebble Beach, we call it, SMC Trade Triggers Pebble Beach, and it was a forerunner to Swing Machine, and it uses, well, I won't get into what it uses, but it's kind of an old school, and it's a beautiful tool, and annual members get that too, so, and they're not for sale individually. You just get them all, and you lay it out, and we'll help you lay them out, and decide, and how you want to go ahead. And also part two, by the way, you can, set the intervals. You don't have to be 135, right? You can set them on a daily, weekly, and be a monthly investor. I just probably wouldn't use, I don't think it's a good idea to use too much leverage. Ted, you okay, buddy? What's going on, buddy? He had a huge day in the pool yesterday afternoon. We finally figured out Ted is a 3-year-old golden. We finally figured out what it is he wants to do. He loves the pool every afternoon, just about, if it's not thunderstorm. And the dude jumps in the pool. He leaps into the pool. He's got like about 3 or 4 toys, ducks, and then he runs around the pool and he wants to play keep away. So we've been doing that for like all summer with him. This has really been his big pool summer. And But what he really wants to do, he wants to chase in the pool, which I wasn't doing. So I grabbed one of his toys, and then I started, when he before he jumped in to grab it, he didn't get it. And I started leading him around, like, and he's chasing me and he's swimming. I was exhausted. He was exhausted. So it's great exercise. So it's actually now, a pool chase or a toy chase, but it's not happening outside the pool. It's happening in the pool. And this dude can swim. I mean, he's like a marlin. If I lead the toy, and just kind of rattle the water with it, I mean, he's like pouncing on that thing. Incredible swimmer. He is a, golden. Absolutely loves the water. Yeah, I mean, we, we love dogs, right? We love dogs. We love pet, and we love the cat too. But yeah, they're a beautiful breed. Labs, Goldens. So this most recent trade, dry down $105, high water mark 745. Could we go up and scalp it? Yeah, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna just, I'm letting it do its thing. Not to get off on it, but we're all living under this, and I don't know, it, it seems, that doesn't not, I mean, that we have to live under a certain set of rules, and that the others, the ones that are so-called calling the shots, they have their set of rules or no rules. At some point, do we not, as a group of people, say, no, I mean, I always felt as though, I mean, that we should be um, inherently fair to each other. The 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 disparity that is going on, without bringing it at all up, it just is so obscene. And I'm just reminded that when you know, it would have been much, much easier in some respects, in the early 2000s, just to have gone along with everything else, and God only knows, you know, I mean, had I taken everything we had and just, put it into Google, would I, yeah, sure. If I had done it in everything in the app, yeah, sure, maybe. Um, but what if a person, went into a diversified portfolio and hit 2008, you know, could you have survived that? Oh, you get in at the bottom, you average, maybe, maybe. Um, what does one hear? Is the S&P on its way to 5,000, on its way to 7,000, on its way to 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, and to never look back? Maybe. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. The NASDAQ got it, the NASDAQ took, 20 years to get back to 5,000, and then it's run from 5,000 to 16,000, in just a few years. Is it going to 25,000, 30,000, 50,000, 100,000? Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. What do you mean? Well, maybe it isn't. In '08, in '08, I mean, we're at 45.51. When the COVID was hitting, the S&P was at 21.21. I mean, 50% down from here, and that would be normal. Mhm. And it's easy to look at a chart and say what you could have done, would do, in a circumstance. But when you're, 40 or 45 or 35 or whatever age you are, now if you're in your 20s, you know, nothing, you probably don't have the assets to really, matter a whole lot. And you got time, plenty of time on your side. But, if you're a leader, and you got those assets, and those assets take a 50%, 80%, 90% haircut, um, you know, maybe you hang and maybe you don't. The I think the Nikkei, I don't know if the Nikkei has broken its old high, but we talk about the Nikkei all the time. The Nikkei was at 30,000 in 1991, and some 40-year-old, Japanese salary man, put his life savings in there the first time thinking, it was a sure bet. And then it proceeded to go below 5,000 and was there for, 25, 30 years. He's long gone. He's dead. He was dead financially too. So, um, am I gonna believe, again, full circle? Am I gonna believe Jamie Dimon, the CEO of a bank? I'm gonna believe him. Would I believe Eisner at Disney, for God's sakes? Would I believe the CEO at, at Anheuser-Busch or any of them? I believe any of them? Not a chance in hell. Mm. They lie. How about GE? There were folks that bought GE stock, for the dividend. You know, when a stock goes down 80, 90%, takes a long time to restore that when you get in that 2 or 3% dividend. Uh, Another little Wall Street scam. But everyone's got to decide. We say on the website, 90% of short pots don't go in the hole. The point being is if you don't try, you'll never know. You'll never know. Yeah, Jeff, I'll tell you exactly what mine are. I did not re-optimize mine. Um, but let me go look, and I'll send them in the room right now to everybody. And I'll tell you right now, they came in, they're close to that, but it's probably running a little quicker. So this was just from the other day. Let me write them in here. There you go. Keep me posted. And now, Jeff, I haven't put on any profit targets or anything. Now, this would be the other point too, Jeff, and Jeff is asking, so I'm talking to folks in our Zoom room and in YouTube. You just have to know that I'm talking with them. You don't have visibility on this, but um, I would be optimizing more frequently and going 1 or 2 weeks back, Jeff, on this one, to keep it current. Um, but what you might want to do too is if you have those settings, um, is maybe go back, keep those settings after you do it, and then go back about 3, 4 months and see what the worst case scenario for a negative outlier was. And then maybe use that as a maximum adverse excursion, something like that, and then bring it back, right? Just bring it back to more current. Wow, I've never seen negative. I'm not sure I understand, Jeff. I've never seen negative. Never seen negative. I'm not sure I understand. When you do that, on the negative side, you got to go minus large to small, and then it's an increment, of plus 0.5. But I'm not sure I still understand. But I've never seen negative on settings. But anywho, we've got a host of ideas that are going to come off of Stinger too. So bear with us, but we're gonna bottle up in a video to all the members what we've been doing here, certainly this past week, the past 2 weeks, so that folks can glean from it. Keep us posted. Jeff, I would as well, this would be for everybody. If you've got it on Classic Rinko, I would have the C points up. I would also have the trend caddy up too. That's kind of interesting too. And we do have it up visually. It's pretty comfortable to the eye. Okay, we're gonna let this run. Um, and I'm gonna be out of pocket here for about an hour, hour and a half, I believe, but I'm gonna let it run, try to do the best I can. Jeff, I'll have to take a look at that in a little bit. I'm sorry. Not sure why that would be the case. Um, you've got to, yeah, I'll have to, I'll have to answer that a little later, Jeff. I'm sorry. When you, when you optimize, Jeff, don't, when you're on the negative side, the increment is not negative. The increment is still plus 0.5. So I'm not sure if that's it. And you want to go from, from low to high, negative, deeper to higher, and an increment. The increment you'll be adding is going to be positive. So I'm not sure if that's part of it. Um, you have exactly what I have. So I'll double check that in a little bit, but I'm going to be out of pocket here for about another hour, hour and a half. I'm not sure why that, huh? I don't know. Um, are you on a Rinko? Okay, I'm gonna look, but it may be an hour or two before I can get back to you because I'm gonna be tied up. I got somebody coming to the door here in a moment, but I'm gonna try to answer it if I can. Jeff, can you tell me the exact name of your beta that we sent you? For some reason, I'm not seeing it here. The exact name. Oh, okay. That's why I couldn't find it. Okay, Ringo. We've dropped the Ringo there, but that's okay. Let me just double check here. Okay, there you are. I think I know what it might be. You're exactly the same. I think, are you the thing of length? How small do you have it? Do you starting at one? Um, I usually start it at 10 and go to 30 or 50. You might if you're at one, it may be giving you, it may not be calculating. I think it did it work? Your code is exactly the same as mine. That's weird. It's exactly the same. Um, okay, I'm gonna try a new chart. Okay, definitely keep me posted. Maybe I did I get your customer number wrong? I don't think so. Um, the dates are right. Program's the same. Was it generating orders before? Maybe that space is corrupted. I mean, I can resend it if you want, but it is the same. If it was working before, then I've got the right, customer number, which, I've always, it's the same. Everything else is should be working. Um, Wondering if your space got corrupted somehow. And hmm, strange. Keep me posted. I can always resend it. I see, Jeff. That makes sense. And the reason why you're not seeing any trades, Jeff, it's too wide, too wide. So at that setting. So stay, yeah, yep. Um, yep. That would be why. No problem. No problem. Um, yep. And Jeff, I think I'd be doing this. Now, I'm not sure about using a floating date, like so many days back, or a fixed date. Um, but and you understood what I was saying about going back, like, you can't go back further than 6 months, but maybe going back, 4 or 5 months after you get that setting, go back 4 or 5 months and look, Jeff, at the maximum adverse excursion to see just how bad something might be, and maybe have a safety stop there. Maybe you may not need one. I'm going to be doing that this weekend as well. I want to take a look. That was the lesson, a little bit. Um, and then but I wouldn't run it with all that data. I would just use it to get that. Um, and The other thing, Jeff, is I would um, I would keep optimizing. I think if not every afternoon, every couple of days. I think you got to do it more. And I think that's going to be the case, not just with this, but with everything. I think we should be doing it more. Again, I'm waiting on a person here. I'm gonna hit, this is a static report for the last 24 hours. I don't think there haven't been any trades. So it should be, yeah, it's exactly the same. This is not inclusive of that trade up there. Now, could I disengage and take that money and take it and improve it? I could, right? But I'm deliberately not doing that. And I want to be as best I can. I want to be a robotic trader. It may be, somewhat mechanical, but I don't want any emotion in my trading if I can help it, right? It certainly feels good to make money and it feels bad to lose money. I'm not saying that is going to go away, but, but you know, I've sat beside people and it's palpable. If you are getting, a dopamine rush because you made $500 or $600 or $2,000, and you're getting a dopamine rush, and you're getting that rush, or and if you get the rush, you're going to get the pain. And if you're getting that, we've got to have a chat, and we got to work through that, and we got to get rid of that. We got to get rid of it. I mean it. I really, I really mean it, as best we can, right? And it can be done. It can be done. You can train yourself, and you have to train yourself, right? In golf, it's true. If you have a shot to the green and you have water in front of you or indoor sand trap, and if you put your focus on that water, boy, I don't want to hit the water. I don't want to hit the water. Boy, I got to get it over. I got to get it over. Oh, boy, I don't want to hit the water. I don't want to hit the water. Guess where the shot's going? In the water. I'm serious. It 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 happens. That's why they put it there in the sand trap. I don't want to go in the sand trap. Boy, I don't want to be in that sand trap, because if I get in that sand trap, guess where it goes? In the sand trap. Boy, I got to trade today. Oh boy, I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose. Oh man, I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose. Oh boy, if I lose any more money, I can't. Oh boy, I'm going to get beat up. Oh, I can't lose any more money. I can't lose any more. Guess what? Okay, you're going to lose. If you get those little men, those emotions, talking to you in that way, You got to get rid of it. And that's why we do the Q school, because we'll know. You'll know, we'll know. Because I'm going to ask you to see your scorecards for every week. First week is kind of a pass, but we want to see them. And because we can glean from that. And then, and as a member, you can send me your scorecards. We have a member that's been with us for months, and he sent me a scorecard, and he wants to send me a month's worth of scorecards. If you don't keep score though, you don't have any scorecards. I can't. There's not much I can do to help, because I can't. I can't handle. It's just like in golf. Boy, Don, I was really hitting the ball well last week. I was really hitting it well, but I'm not hitting it very well now. Okay. What do you think I'm doing wrong? How the hell do I know? How do I know? Do you know how many greens you hit? Do you know how many fairways you hit? Do you know how many putts you made? I don't know. And if you don't know, how the hell do I know? So you have to slow your golf game down. It may be, your rounds, and you got to keep track of that stuff. And if you want to cut corners and just count the money, then, that's great. But when you get into trouble or you hit a slump, you're not going to know why. You're not going to know what to do. And I can't do it right from here, right? All I can do is just, share that with you. But we have specific steps as we go through the Q school, and everyone knows that. And you won't get away from us without, some detailed conversations about that, right? We're going to show you specifically how to do it. Make sense? How you doing, Parker? How are you, buddy? I'm going to be working on your welcoming videos here shortly, so I do want you to know that. And it's best for people to journal trade days of their thoughts and why they took trades or what they did wrong. Yeah, we'll talk about that. We're going to be sending you a scorecard, and Parker's going into our Q school. And um, I'm not out to make paperwork, but we'll make it really pretty simple, and we'll break that down. We don't keep a whole lot. One of the things that Susan in particular, wanted to do when she was first learning, I had a keeping score, and we did this for a little bit, but then she'd want to recreate the let me show you what I was looking at. Let me show you what I was. No problem. And she'd want to like recreate the day and recreate the trades and what she was thinking and everything. And it got to be kind of counterproductive, because um, you know, it's a little like golf, or a lot like, yeah, like golf. I mean, it is. I mean, you could say, I was here, and I was 155 yards to the green, and I had this lie, I had that lie, the wind was out of this corner and that corner, and I hit the shot and I came up short. Um, okay, but you might be presented with the same shot the next day, maybe, but maybe not likely the same hole, maybe not the same market. And it may not be, and it may be just entirely different, entirely different. And so if we do too much journaling, too much stuff, we wind up with some excess baggage and muscle memory that we don't need. What you do want to know is that under, relatively normal circumstances, you can hit your 7 iron, for me, don't laugh, about 150 yards, 155 if I'm lucky. Um, Under normal circumstances, wind at my back, do a little better. So how does that equate to trading? So, when we're trading, you want to know, have a feel for the parameters, right? But they're never going to be exactly the same. And when the machine is doing it, now this machine, this robot, right? Suddenly this week, last week, it wasn't trading that much at all. It only had 11 trades all week. This week, it's had a lot of trades. And I mean, even since yeah, this has had 7 trades since midnight, not including that. It's had 8. So this is suddenly, it's more. There's another one. There's another one. So and this is now this is static. So I've got to generate a report, and there it is. So we got a perfect match. What's in the account and what's here. There's the profit factor, 3.77. And so we're doing fine. And so I'm going to continue. And it's had 8 trades. Last week, the program only had 11 all week. All week. It's a different market this week right now than it was last. So makes sense. But no problem. And yeah, we're going to be making you Parker, and this is for the benefit of everybody. Parker's rolling into the Q School. He's a new monthly member. We'll make a welcoming tutorial on the monthly and what that entails, what that offers a person when they sign up, and then of course the Q School orientation, and then we're going to connect. And Parker will have a dedicated Zoom link, and we'll agree on some times. I'm going to work around your schedule, Parker, whatever it is from day to day, and then get Parker underway. It'll be beautiful. It's gonna be a beautiful thing and be fun. So this, and now if we were to stop, now we will. I'll probably let this go. I'm going to be out of pocket. I just want everyone to know I'm expecting my doorbell to ring in about 2 minutes. Oh, all right, there's another trade to the long side. So definitely more active. Um, but we won't run past 3. I'm definitely not going to let this run in the last hour of the day in the week. I'm not going to do that. I might even come in and stop it sooner, but we'll let it run and see if she can keep adding. Yesterday from midnight to midnight, the thing did 4,000. That's sweet. You put a couple of those days back to back here. Um, you know, all of a sudden you're going to be, breathing a lot easier. Okay, took another small hit. We'll generate the report, and he's falling back a little bit, right? So that's okay. Now we're showing this. It's really still really important, that the person who is trading, even trading a robot, we have to get you flying the plane. We still have to do discretionary trading and mechanical trading. We got to get you real comfortable flying the plane that you can, if you didn't have a trading robot, that you can come in and fly the plane. You can get it up and you can get it down safely and get from point A to point B. You know, you do need that, because that confidence that helps to be able to run it. If you're not comfortable doing that, then you'll bring the emotion and the stress into the trading robot, and it may not have a good result. All of the trades, by the way, have all been on the long side, which is kind of crazy, right? They've all been on the long side today. Now, when Parker rolls into the the Q school next week, we have this dedicated Zoom feed, and he'll have a private view, and he will also have a chart to look at, right? And there'll be various charts. We don't usually do that. So every once in a while we'll do it on YouTube, but you know, do that a whole lot because people are looking. They're looking for something. They're looking for just like one little tweak here or there. And in those one little things, it's kind of like getting a golf tip, from wherever. If you're going to get serious about your golf game, you really want to get serious about your golf game if you want to play good golf. And picking up a tip from here or there and just throwing it in your menu of your golf game, and probably in the scheme of things is going to help you handicap a whole lot. You know. And she took another long. Mhm. Now we can get a peek at what the average winning trade's been. This is just today, right? This is so the average we've had, and this is interesting, right? Percent profitable, 33%. See, and she just took another loss. So let's generate the report. Okay, so she's at 2.6, coming back to earth a little bit. But I want to just go through these numbers. This is actually what it's done. 10 trades, 30% profitable. That means she's lost 7 out of 10. A person trading discretionary, sitting down to their computer with their whatever account, okay, honey, I'm trading now. And they stop putting on trades and they lose 7 out of 10 trades, they will be a wet noodle because they don't know what we know. Now, you can still lose 7 out of 10 trades and lose money, but the strategy isn't, right? So it's lost 7 out of 10. I mean, that's what that means. 7 out of 10. Have to know that. Have to know that that winning percentage isn't really that important, but everyone makes it important. In Wall Street, and in the media and everything, they make it important. But as you can see here, it isn't. The average winning trade. Now check this out. Why isn't it? The average winning trade is $1,200. Oh, the average losing trade is 198. That's why we're making money today. Anyways, right? Today. And there you go. So we had 3 losers in a row, right? 3 losers in a row. But if you're trying to do this mechanically, now we will show you how to do it mechanically, but we would be way over our daily limit. We don't really want to trade too much if we're trading mechanically, putting the trade on, taking it off, we don't want to be doing that too much. If the machine's doing it, I don't really care, because it's a machine. But I don't, and we just got to know the trade, right? I didn't put that on. Machine put that on, right? And once again, and it's a long. It wants to go long, so we'll let it go long. And I haven't gone to a chart, and we could, right? Yeah, we could go to a chart and load it up with this, and load it up with that, and stop pointing to this and pointing to that. Those, in our view, a lot of times, can just be crutches and be more handicapped, right? You want to visualize the shot. If you're out on the golf course, they talk about it all the time. You just want to visualize the shot, So I'm thinking, let's look at the drawdown. The average drawdown is, we got it here. Average losing trade. Does it give us? All right, we can come here to trade manager analysis. I want to look at the average time in trade is 1 hour and 7 minutes. Yeah, that's pretty good. Looking for my draw. We can come here, trade graphs, and the average draw is 191. Now, we did have a draw of over 300 once, but the average draw is $191. So I'm visualizing that trade. All right. I'm thinking, all right, we're probably not hopefully, I'm not going to get down more than 200. Well, that'd be kind of cool. All right. What about the run up? Oops. Run up, average run up. The average run up is 1,300. Kidding me, bagger? I'm going to do that all day, every day, right? I want to, anyways. That's beautiful. It's not going to necessarily do that every single day, but it's doing it today. So if it suddenly starts to stop doing that, then maybe, and it just took another little loss, right? Man, lost another loser. But we generate the report. Let's see where we are. All right. So we're at 2,000. We're down to 2.25, right? But if I pick up an average winner, we'll be right back above 3. So, I'm going to stay with it a little, but I won't do it too much more. Again, we'd rather not, go into the weekend and go into the clubhouse feeling lousy, right? So this is still a very, very nice day. Yeah, it might. We have jotted that down, Jeff. It might. It might. It might make it more dynamic. It might. Yep. Yeah. Save that. Please save that thought. We've got it written down too. It might. We didn't want to do it now because it would add some complexity, and we didn't want to spook everybody. So for those that are listening on YouTube, like what's happening is that we have a live Zoom feed and we have the capacity to chat back and forth. A lot of times it's just through a chat function. And now, and so we have a member that's been with us for years, and he's seeing what he's seeing, and he's got his own trading thoughts, and he's making some suggestions and some ideas, and they're very good and they're very sound. I'm not going to get into what they are because I'm not going to do that. We work way, way too hard. Now, I will share that with all of our members. This is how it works with all of our members, especially annual members. And will code. So when he's got an idea and a concept around the stinger, and we've also got it written down, so it's valid. And we, regardless, I may not have, and we will sit down and we'll code it out. And now we will, so it may have a Stinger 2.0 to it, beta. All right, so now it's long again. Again, it keeps wanting to go along here, right? And so the average losing trade is about $190. Could be more, right? We could be more. So this could be our last trade because we're not going to give up. We're not going to give up all that profit here as we and it's also middle part of the day. It has a tendency. Markets have a tendency to do this sometimes. But what we'll do, so just give you an idea what happens here at Stock Market Caddy. So we'll write the code, right? We'll write what he's asking for, and we'll call it a 2.0. It'll be a beta, and we'll send him a copy, and we'll run a copy too. And if there's others, we have this little beta group that folks who have the time, have the interest, they want to get all the beta, some of the new stuff. We'll get it to everybody. For those that don't, we're not going to hold out on them once we vet it, and exhaust the possibilities, and it gets added to our library. Then it will certainly go out to everybody, right? We don't, but anytime anybody wants anything, I mean, that's what we'll do, right? And there's no additional cost for any of that. We'll do it. It takes time. Now, if you're online, the programmers are very good, and programming is an art form. We don't teach programming, but they get the better programmers are $200, $300 an hour. Okay, we just took another loss there. So let's take a look at what we want to do here. All right, so we've come back. We're still at 1.97. I'm not going to drop below. We've had a high watermark. We're up and over 3. So we've come back on the account level almost 50%. So I'm not going to take much more. We'll see if we can get another shot at it here. And it's Friday. It's middle of the day. We've had a great day, even if we, stop here, even if we stop at 1500. And so it is my prerogative, to stop it. We'll let you watch on Swing if you want. But just explaining how we do that, and when something gets added to our library, it does go out to everybody. But off of this strategy, and this is what happens: we come up with a strategy or a concept, we'll run it, and we'll run into some issues we already have, and but then we start to see, well, maybe we could do this, and maybe we could do that, and maybe we could add it, and so it just doesn't stop. Now, you don't have to trade all these things, though, right? You don't have to. We have over, it takes me a week to send annual members all our files. There's like, and there's no slow, fast way to do it. It's just slow, methodical. Um, and there's over 70, but you don't need them all. You only need what you need. As long as you can, you're getting done what you need to get done and repeat it and be happy, right? If your goal, if you're up 3,000 and you come back to 1781, or you decide to go forward and we drop below 1,500, then that's, and you decide to stop, then you decide to stop and you're done. You don't beat yourself up psychologically. You just can't, because, oh, I was at 3,000. Oh, we're doing this every day. You can't do that. You can't. And the way to get through that is do it every day. Just do it every day. It's like a golfer. You can't, you ever see the golfers that come off the course, they lose, the US Open by like 3 shots. He's not like, man, I was on number 7. And if I had only done this, if I had only done that. You can't do that. It's like, you know what? I played the best round that I could play. And it is. The good news is here for us and for you. You don't have to beat me. You don't have to beat anybody. You don't have to beat the market per se. You don't. You're trading as a business. See, Wall Street has you believing a lot of the metrics and a lot of the things that they want you to believe, because they're self-serving bastards. They are. They got you. They have you believing, certain some dogmas, and it's because Wall Street and Madison Avenue, they're one and the same of the one. They're the same thing. They're the best. They're masters at this shit. Everything, and they're together, and they want you focusing on the money. They want you, the percentage return on an annualized basis. They want you buying stories, right? It's also how they sell soap, right? The commercials. It's how our brains work, right? Narratives. you know, um, tell the story. It was true. Years ago when we used to go into these buildings that used to hold these things called books, they're called libraries. They had they had a card catalog system. I think they still have it, although we just order our books online and just pick them up. But, and they'd have like little Dewey Decimal System. Remember that? They'd have to go to the stacks and you'd have to go find a book. Imagine that. God, I can imagine the college kids today. So they're like, they probably freak out. Um, and the way our minds work is, the way we remember things, the way we catalog things are stories, stories. And Madison Avenue knows that, and Wall Street Avenue knows that. So in order to get you to do something, mainly send them your money, they got to tell you a story. And that story is going to be, about fiber optics, about the internet, about social media, about AI. It's going to be, it's a story. You want to get, not just in energy, but you want to get the supply and the supply stuff, the guys who make the pipes and the wrenches. And, it's like, from the movie The Graduate, you want to get involved in plastics. It's a joke in my view. But there's a way to do it around it, for the longer term, technically, right? Technically, I think that, to net it out, and I won't, try not to talk too much, but what we're trying to do is track money flow, because when it comes to people's money and their stuff, they generally won't, they they act generally prudently, or I don't know, prudent would be the right word. Well, they act for better or for worse. Let's put it that way. So when you see these planes, sometimes, God forbid, plane comes down and it has a rough landing and skids off the end of the runway, and there's, the wheels are down and the fire trucks are coming and everything else, and then you see the videos and the people, and they've taken their time to, and I'd probably be sitting right in the middle of them all. They're taking their time to get their suitcases out, get their luggage rack, because they got to get their stuff. It's not exactly rational, but in some level, I guess it is rational. I'm not going to do that. I want to get my little ass off that airplane just as fast as I can. But unfortunately, I'm going to have them all around me. Um, so the market is, okay. So we just took another little hit. And so I'm not going to let this continue, right? We're at 1.76. We've come all the way back. The account is some 50% off of its high watermark. Let's go look at the performance graph. See it right here, right? We get up as, up in here. We've come all the way back. I think we've had enough, right? Um, so hate to end the fun, but we're going to end the fun. So we're going to disable. And you know what's going to happen, and we'll continue to track it. It is going to probably take a short in strategy world. It won't take it here. We're done. We turned it off, and probably make a couple of thousand. But we want to control what we can control, and it's not Monday. If it was Monday, maybe we were just starting, I'd feel maybe a little different about it. It's Friday. We've had a great week. Time to shut her down. But we can have some fun with swing machines. So let's do this. Let's clear off this. I should clear these off, and let's update this, right? The machine doesn't put those in. So the VIX is still on a 5 minute, still short. So, it doesn't hint of a hard sell, but let's mark it up and see if how swing machine does. And we certainly have members that are trading swing, right? They trade it every day. They're hopefully done themselves. Okay, so this is short at 45.48, and it went short at 12.10. It's about 5 minutes ago. That was just 20 minutes. Yes, it's up 175. There's no reason really to come out of that. The NQ is still long from 930. It's pulled back, it's dipped, and it's losing its grip. We'll mark up. Here's the Dow. The Dow is short at 1035, and the Russell is also short, right? So this market's kind of spongy here, going into the close, going into the weekend, and then oil down here, also short. The others, would go for green boxes, but we'll kind of wait. I'm inclined to think, and a lot of times, we'll get some really nice, significant moves off of swing machine when all four markets are in sync and they all go together. So we'll see how it does. But this little guy over here, he's done, right? That's it. I'm going to go ahead and show everybody that's here something, but I want to make sure that everyone understands what happens in the past may or may not happen in the future. And that is true. That's one of the few things that Wall Street says that is true. And um, let's I'm always a little reluctant to show because I want to make sure that people understand that. Um, so let's what I'm going to do is we've been running this program since July 3rd, right? Now, it did what it did today. It did what it did yesterday. But Wednesday, it did not have a very good day. And we think we know why. And we made some adjustments and it did what it did. But what has it done since July 3rd? Okay. So I'm going to take you back and we're going to go back. Now, this is completely robotic. I did not, with the exception of turning it off a couple of times over 2 weeks, a few times to reboot the computers, and then not putting us back into the trade. I did do that, and I feel as though I hurt the performance. Um, I did that last. I only did that once this week, and I did it last night at just before midnight. It took us out of a winning trade, and then so that we'd have a nice, matching balance, today, so we could see it clean. Oh shoot, I'm gonna have to take this call. I'm sorry. We'll um, we'll come back. Okay, sorry about that, folks. I got a couple of minutes here. I didn't mean to keep everybody in suspenders. So this program running full tilt from July 3rd, um, full tilt 24/7 with little to no scalping has generated, let's generate that, has generated pretty narrow profit factor. We had one kind of a down day on the CPI, but 4,839 if you took every single trade. And we cropped some of the better trades. I think this should have been, much better with some intervention. We'll put it back to just today. If a person had traded it, and these are the decisions that a person would need to be making, how much trading do you want to do? If we look at just today, that's what it did just today. If you look at just yesterday, that's what it did just yesterday. So big recovery. So you've got to manage your business. You've got to manage your time, and you've got to manage your trading. Folks, we're going to need to get caught up. We're going, and we need the resources on the computer. So I want to just say thank you for stopping by, and we're going to need to sign off on YouTube. Sorry to keep everybody in suspenders here. I didn't have eyes on the market at all, so I can't really comment right now, but it looks like it's getting a little on the chop side. We wish everyone the best. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. And Parker, if you're still there, he may or may not be. We're going to have some things headed your way. We'll get caught up and be talking early next week for sure. Good luck, everybody. Tina, if you're there, have a wonderful weekend.